So now I've just basically set my route on a little trim router and just went around the top, took the whole center section out, left all these tabs. You can see I've cut with a little back saw here. I cut back right to the edge of the purfling. And you want those little handles because now the way this is going to be removed, some of this pops out, but most of it doesn't. And I use a heat gun, and I'm very careful about warming these tabs up toward the purfling. And I'll set the camera up while I'm doing it so you can see exactly how I do that. But you've got this little lever to kind of work the glue joint loose, and it'll kind of just separate from that purfling, and it leaves it a really clean edge all the way around. Sometimes there's a little bit of cleanup to do, but basically it opens that thing up like a new inlay. It's a very clean separation. Okay, now you can see the heat gun is just working its way toward the bubbling up the French polish finish, which unfortunately you can't smell it, but it really smells good. Anyway, once that gets nice and hot, with that little lever of the tab here, that's why you leave this little distance if you can, starts coming loose, and the whole glue seam lets loose, and you can flip it out just like that. And you just go all the way around the guitar top, removing all these pieces. And when it's all done, you have a nice platform for the new top to drop into. And in a couple of places here where I've lost this little tab to work with, I'll just heat that edge. And I've got this heat gun on low heat, so it's not really cranking out too much. And you don't want to overheat the edges and blister the sides or anything. It's one of the beauties of doing this system of saving the binding and the purfling is you don't have to refinish the whole guitar. All you got to do is refinish the top. But then you start cutting into the sides, and then it's a whole different ball game as far as finish goes. But I'll heat this up, get it warm. Careful not to, again, get it too hot. You can see the French polish bubbling, and let that heat penetrate a little bit. And then I'll usually use a mat knife like this, and then I can just push it through, and it'll pop those things loose, and they'll come right out. Now it'll take a little bit of chisel cleanup here and there, but you're talking half an hour work to really get this thing ready to actually accept a brand new top, which is pretty remarkable. Now everything's been cleaned up inside here, all the kerfing surfaces, all the edge of the purfling, and now this top drops in here. Now I did a little fitting to the top where it was just a little big in places, but now it just drops right in here, and boom. That's what the new top's going to look like. I've got the advantage of, this is my own instrument, so my bracing pattern is going to go back in here, and all the little recesses I have to accommodate bracing ends and everything will pretty much match up. I won't have to mess around too much. But if you're doing a guitar that you didn't build, and you don't really have the diagrams for it, you just have to monkey around and make some adjustments for accommodating those bracing ends where they meet the kerfing. Okay, we're at the point now where the new top is finished. A simple 7-fan brace, ready to go. And that's going to drop right in here. Everything's been cleaned up, all the little rough bits cleaned up, smoothed out. So this thing drops in here quite easily. Once the neck angle's in the right place, there it goes, pop, boom, there it is. And I was talking about that neck angle. As you can see, there's a significant change, almost 1/4 of an inch here as that thing kind of opens up a little bit after the old top was taken off. So that means that's got to come in like that to be in, for that neck angle to be in the right place. Anyway, beyond that, all the end braces are all, all the accommodation has been made in the kerfing here. Take those, and it's ready to go. Okay, now I've got all the glue spread in here. Fairly liberal, but you don't want to go overboard because you don't want stuff dripping down into the guitar. And then I've got tape set up here. I'll tape this thing all together to begin with, and then I'm going to rope it in on this nail board here. So this is going to fit in like this. Drop that in, drop that in, drop that in, drop that in. Okay. That's it. And then here is where I'm going to pull this up like that. Put a little wedge over here so I can press down like that. Like that. Bring it back in. Sides will be pulled in as I go. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, there. I've taped this completely all the way around, just pull it in tight. Now I'm going to use my cord on this nail board. I'm going to pull it in real tight with it. And this guitar is nestled into kind of a donut of cotton, an old t-shirt actually, but it supports all the way around the back that way. And this way I can crank these sides in really nice and tight. Like this, and I'm just going to go all the way around this guitar in this fashion. Okay, now this is fully wrapped here. You look around all the way around the edge. Thing's been sucked in hard, see glue squeezing out everywhere, and I know it's in there tight. And that's what you want. And then let this sit overnight and dry really good. Okay, now I've taken the string binding off there, holding the joint together, and as you can see, that's a nice clean fit all the way around. It dropped in really nice. I'm pretty happy with this. And at this point, it's really a straightforward refinishing job. Now when I go to put this fingerboard piece back on, I'm not going to do that until after I do the French polish on this top, because it's a lot easier to do the French polish without the fingerboard in place. But if I was going to lacquer it, I'd put it on right now. And when I put it on, I make a thin veneered shim of ebony, same thickness as the saw blade I used to make the cut to remove that thing in the first place. So you need to replace that space. And that takes all the guesswork out of butting it up to the motherboard here. And that'll go in like that, and butt in like that. You can sight down there and get all your alignment right. In this case, where the top is just really identical to the other one, I don't really have to do any adjustments. Sometimes you have to sand down a little bit here and there just to get everything to fit, and lay in perfectly without, because you don't want to have to do any fretwork afterwards if possible. Anyway, once that's done and it's hardened, this slot can be cleaned up and a new fret put in, and you're good to go. Now, if anybody has any further questions about this or wants to talk about anything in detail, you can certainly contact me at GamblerGuitars.com through the contact info. My email address is there, and so are my phone numbers, so easy to get hold of. Anyway, hopefully this has been a help to you. Bye.